Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
Well, it's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean how is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
Thanks, boy.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
Let's get to the scene.
All right. My undercarriage is sweating. For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs. All right, and welcome into another edition of Third and Manageable Podcast. I am your host, Matt Diegert, and as always, riding shotgun, student body right.
I get it into the sunrise. Yo, what is going on, my friends? We got a host of friends on tonight. You are listening to the Third and Manageable Podcast. Matt, it's everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
We're going to be graced by someone I've probably seen too much of. Mr. A-Dub. Aaron Williams joins the show around 9:45 to kick us off. We're doing this thing called cohesive team unity. A principle of, I hope, that the Bills will be adhering to as we get deeper and deeper into the coming months and the penultimate start to what we all hope will be the generational run of our lifetime. Couple roster news and notes. Maddie, August 26th, 2025. We're going to 90 to 53. There's no half cuts anymore, man.
Yeah.
I think people, it was introduced, I believe, last year. So get in where you fit in, make your presence known, get in there early, get in there often. So we're going to be talking about tonight how we're going to craft this roster, how we're going to craft the certain je ne sais quoi, as we say, like the French say, that the what cannot be officially determined right now, but hopefully we get a peek into the looking glass of who we're going to be, what we're going to be, and how we're going to be. Maddie, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
I'm
good.
Nice haircut, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see James Cook get a haircut?
I did.
I had a college teammate. His name was Ayodele Filet. He was Nigerian, and he cut off his dreads of like 12 years. He went from an XL helmet to a small. So you know what I'm leading to, because we're talking helmets.
I do. Talk
to me, West Side. What are we doing here? We're going segments early, segments off, and Maddie,
off the rack.
We're talking about off the rack, sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. It's good enough for Ryan Vandermark. It's good enough for Alec Anderson. Good enough for Spencer Brown. Good enough for people who really value caloric intake. Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs. This is a segment where we try to dissect and analyze equipment changes of which you should be concerned with. And we had one of those debut this week. Maddie, why don't you tell them about what we noticed this week?
Yeah, so real quickly, Shaq Thompson, newest Buffalo Bill, your newest Buffalo Bill.
Oldest Carolina Panther.
He went from a Speed Flex Precision Diamond to a Rydell Axiom. And you can kind of see it on the screen a little bit. We talked about it a little bit last week with the, your position.
Yeah, these player like specific helmets. That's kind of where the game's going. You're starting to see it with Alec changing, Matt. You're starting to see it with Spencer Brown changing. In the age of player safety, in the age of the blue tent, caution before craziness, you're starting to see these custom precision pieces of equipment being introduced. And I kind of like that. Our staff and the tethering between the training room and the equipment room are starting to get into it. So what you'll notice, it may be a small aesthetic change, but I assure you it is not. The Rydell Axiom, I mean, the guys that are at the forefront of this,
it's breathable. It's
they have an interchangeable visor. They come outfitted with the Oakleys. And it was kind of funny this week. You got your first look at kind of Aaron Rodgers. He's still wearing that cloth chin strap, the one strap, chin strap. You know who started that?
Brett Favre. No.
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Remember, Brett Favre would rip it off right before the play, and then that went to Aaron Rodgers, and that went to Jordan Love. So he's still playing with the cloth, the cloth chin strap. Why all these advances are kind of being introduced. And Matt, speaking of that, nothing but illustrious guest. If you're interested in equipment, you're gonna love next week. Who we got next week, Matty?
Woody.
You got to be fucking shitting me, dude. Sweetheart. All right, guys. We have Woody Ribick, the 35-year head of equipment for the Buffalo Bills on next Saturday. He's been a friend for a little bit. He's going to hopefully work us through the changes that went from, going from Apex jerseys. Remember those? Puma jerseys to NFL equipment,
Champion
to Reebok,
jerseys,
Champion, to Nike, and all that stuff. And what goes into outfitting the Warriors on the field, the sheaths of the sword, as well as, hey, how much does it cost for a jersey swap? It's everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
So got a lot to get into tonight. Got a lot of personality tonight with Mr. 238 Dub, Aaron Williams. But we'd like to welcome on a new friend, a long friend, a Friday night friend. I want you to introduce Maddie.
Yeah, so we got Tommy from the Mafia Sports Report, and he is from Buffalo fan base. And we'll be there at MafiaCon on July 19th. We'll also be at the Bocce Tournament June 22nd. So
June 22nd. Hey, June 22nd. I do this thing every year with Harrison Phillips, 5th year anniversary. Harrison Phillips and I put on a charity bocce tournament to are you coughing in the back?
Without further ado,
I guess there's actually a new cause response. It's called COVID part 17. And anyway, I do this with Harrison Phillips every year.
My God.
See a ton of people. 5th year we're doing it. It benefits board I sent out the Illegal Powell Scholarship Fund, as well as Harrison Phillips Playmakers. So come hang out, chat with us, and convince Harrison Phillips to come back for the Bills.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Did I cover everything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's Bocce too.
There's Bocce.
So anyway, without further ado, this is a guy I recently interacted with. We'd like to introduce Cat Stevens. How you doing, man? Tommy, what's going on, my man?
Yeah,
that is a robust background, and I can tell you are in WO4.
I don't know.
Live.
For life, baby. You got it. Come on, man. It's the best.
Yeah, so walk us through that background there, man. Because you got Felix the house cat back there. You got you got a ton of stuff. I mean, we're going in my we're going in my living room right now just because we've been moving, shaking, traveling, and don't you kind of think we say this all the time, French speaker? There's a certain je ne sais quoi of some things you can't say in voice, but you can say in your background. What's your favorite piece back there, man? That's a really cool thing.
Man, dude, I love them all. I love the Tyson one. Eric Mold's drawing back there. I love. It's my favorite player, but I love them all, man. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The Madden 24 Josh Allen's dope. Over there is the crisscross Bugs Bunny and Taz. So
yeah, I think I'm all over the map. I think my favorite would be the Tyson of the Madden cover. That one's those are.
I don't know when Hulk Hogan turned heel. That was kind of like
Yeah,
when
dude.
Stefan Diggs turned diva for me. So,
Yeah.
a little bit. So, you're coming from the Mafia Sports Report. I got to ask the pressing question: what brought us together? How did you come up with the show name Friday Night Lights, and how did you write that novel and direct that movie?
Yeah,
Great show, man. We catch it all the time in a space
Appreciate
of a lot of creators. It's nice to get together and see some synergy between networks. But you've been doing this for a while, part of the Buffalo Fan.
Yeah.
Del Reed. And you got a partner, Mikey. I hate my partner. His name's Matt. Matt, you want to say hi?
Yeah, I'm right here.
So how did you two kind of come together, tether yourselves, and realize that you guys can impart some good and give the fan base something that they're not picking up from national media and some of the things that fall through the beat?
Yeah. So I actually started. Long story short, I started my channel in 2020 with a way different name. It was Breaking Tables, and then come to find out there was another Breaking Tables. I did my homework, all right, but they were on Facebook and not on YouTube. So long story short, I'm like, you can have it. And I was fishing for names, and I came up with Mafia Sports Report. I loved it. It stuck. And then I joined up with Hashtag for a little bit. That's where I met my co-host, Mikey. They teamed me up with him. And then we just stayed there for a year, and we just went ham on Mafia Sports Report. I linked up with Fanbase. As you guys know, that's the official Bills Mafia Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now. So we rock with them on Mondays and Friday nights at 9 p.m. The Friday night show is just the Friday Night Lights. That's just the Friday night show. But the channel's Mafia Sports Report. But yeah, we've been doing that Friday Night Lights since 2022 on our channel, 2021 since Hashtag. So
yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort to keep pumping out content and content that's worth digesting, especially in the off season. And you went through the group you're with, the team. I got to ask where we sit right now. How you feel about the roster? What's your confidence level with what we have in hand right now?
Listen, man, I'll be honest with you. We're going to win the East again. There's no breaking news here. Okay. We're going to win the East again. We're still the top dog in the East. We still got the best quarterback really in the NFL. Let's be real, but we definitely have the best quarterback in the AFC East without a question, without a doubt. And the rest of the teams right now are just kind of doing just a little bit of a mess, except for the Patriots. They're kind of doing things right, but we're going to win the East again. As far as the roster goes, I love that we're finally addressing the defense as far as youth goes. Okay. We're going young again. We're drafting defensive linemen now. We're starting that youth movement in Buffalo, which was much needed. Instead of putting Band-Aids on this defensive line, we went out and drafted some guys finally.
I mean, I think we're over the age of trying to piece together a defensive line with veteran minimums and, toothpicks and duct tape.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, honestly, it's a nice, refreshing way for us to see how they're building it through the draft. I saw the TJ Sanders pick. I don't want to say not a fan, but I was a wait and see on that because I wanted to see if they were going to grab a bigger guy to go, and they grabbed the one guy that I wanted in Deion Walker. And because I think that his game is going to translate to the NFL very, very well. I honestly see some of Chris Jones in Deion Walker. I have since last year when he was, even Brandon Bean said it. He had him as a first round grade when he watched him in 2023. So, I mean, he's somebody that I'm very excited to see on the field for the Bills. Hopefully they can get his back right and get that all taken care of so that he can perform to his highest level of ability. And with that, I was
the best ability
is availability. With that though, taking TJ Sanders first, I went back on the TJ Sanders pick, and I was very, very happy once that they did that. How do you feel as far as the defensive line is shaping up?
Bring back Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, man. Look, man, I'm more excited about Sanders, to be honest with you, than Walker. Though I like Walker. I just feel like he's going to either be a hit or a like they're miss. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a middle ground for him, right? Because he is a high ceiling, but the thing with
we're either boogieing or we're doing the salsa like Ebenezer. It's boom or bust.
Is boom or bust, exactly. So. He's top heavy. Those kind of linemen don't always work. I got to be real with you, but his film looks really good. He got that injury that kind of set him back last year. But we'll see. We have time with this guy. So it's not like, a big rush. We need to get him in there ASAP.
Right.
But I do like I do like Sanders.
Yeah,
I do. I think Sanders is going to be a beast, man. I really
Yeah,
do.
I
He's
do
quick
too.
off the line. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
do too. I do too. I really like Sanders. I was a big fan of his in college. I just wanted to see that space eater type player, and they got one in Deion Walker. But the nice thing with him is he can play the 1, he can play the 0, he can play the 1, he can play the 3, he can play the 5. He can play all across the line.
He frees up. He frees up in a league where lateral speed and not so much downfield conversion kind of plays to the success of a linebacker of Terrell Bernard's. You need a guy. You need a guy that's going to keep gap integrity, and you need a guy who's going to command a duo blocking scheme.
Yeah, and the great thing
a
is
tray blocking scheme.
The great thing you saw them doing now is all the games they're playing. Now that they have all these athletic guys, athletic freaks along the line, they're playing a lot of games.
Rabbit.
Exactly.
Yo, so we only learn this stuff in going back and watching film, Tommy. But to segue into the next one, going back and watching film, you brought up something interesting 7 days ago, which I was pretty jazzed, dude. You talked about going back and rewatching the drought games.
Yeah.
Is that you're desperate to get more Bills in your life, or is it more of a kind of remembrance of how far we've come?
It's a little bit of both. To be honest with you, look, I work a 12-hour shift. I do on-site security. Very boring job. Just sit in my car for hours and hours. And I started watching.
Don't tell on yourself.
That's what I do. Listen, guys, that's what I do. It's not telling myself. So I've been watching drought year games out of boredom, and honestly, they're quite fun. Listen, we're way away from those.
Party that we waited in limbo every Saturday night if Russ Salvatore was going to come in and buy the last 7,000 seats to make sure the home game wasn't blacked out.
Right. But honestly though, we had talent. Like there's players there was players there. We had talent. We just didn't have a quarterback and we didn't have a coach. Let's be real. Like that's really what the major setback was. But we had a lot of talent. We really did. If you go back to those games, we had a ton. But you got to have a quarterback. You have to have a quarterback, and you have to have a good head coach, or at least a decent head coach if you got an all-pro quarterback.
Right.
Because I feel like right now in this team, which is a totally different subject, is I feel like we have the best quarterback in the league. And that's really why this is a playoff team, not so much the coach.
I got to bring this up. That is an incredible comment. Did Aaron Williams pull a Michael Jackson?
No, Aaron will be on at 9:45 tonight. Tommy is not Aaron Williams. He did not pull a Michael Jackson. He'll be on 9:45 if you missed it at the beginning of the show. But no, I mean, Tommy, let's be honest here. I mean, you brought it up. They did have a lot of talent. They had anywhere from Mario Williams to Marcel Darius, Kyle Williams,
getting a Lawyer Malloy,
Hughes, Lawyer Malloy,
Sam Adams,
Peerless Price, Sam Adams, TKO, London Fletcher.
It was running backs galore, by the way. Running backs galore.
There's nothing more Buffalo dude than just having a couple cordials and just naming vintage Bills players.
Yeah,
I mean, we do it. We probably.
What do you think about Mark Kelso?
We probably do it like once every couple of months, just as a
refresher course,
a brain teaser to ourselves to be able to name from number 0 to 99, and we sit here on Spaces or on one of our shows and try and name the best.
We're definitely
player.
on one.
Yeah, we have. You can tell we have no content when we do that.
Yes, yeah. But in recanting on all these, Tommy, we do something that's called the Peek in the Pit. Peek in the Pit's brought to you by Sons of Erie, Lake Erie-based art house for all of your mirroring Buffalo Bills fandom. The Peek in the Pit consists of the highest of highs of how we got here and the lowest of lows. So with avoiding, what changed the trajectory of this franchise, the draft pick of Wyoming. Can you name me one or two moments, that being your peak of, it's almost like we're back. Like this is what, the older generation recants on. This is what made the city buzz. This was a small market team getting major market coverage. Can you think of one or two moments kind of or inflection points where you kind of like, yo, we're back? That would be the pick.
You know what? You know what's weird? I wouldn't say the 2017 year when we broke the drought.
Mm-hmm.
I would say honestly, it would be the 2019 season when we got to the playoffs with Josh Allen, because that was the start of everything, and you knew that it was going to get only better from there. So the 2017 year was nice and it was awesome, and I won't lie, I teared up a little bit because it's been years, right? It was unbelievable. Sure. We finally broke that drought, but we all knew as Bills fans that wasn't going to be the team moving forward. We knew that that we were going to draft a quarterback.
You lost to what, in Ewood? You lost to Kyle Williams?
You lost those.
Right.
Well, Kyle Williams was the next year.
One more year.
In 2018. Yeah. But
I could go for one of his pet talks.
You did lose Ewood, but I mean, with that team, we thought at the beginning of the year they got rid of Ronald Darby, they got rid of Sammy Watkins, they ended up later in the season getting rid of Marcel Darius. We're just sitting here like, this season's over. Let's just, hope to get like one of the top draft picks and pick Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, and go from there. And then all of a sudden we're in the playoffs playing Jacksonville, and Andy Dalton's sending us there.
Right. I still can't believe that. That was unbelievable. Like that, we weren't supposed to get in. It was just meant to be. But
that was like one of the we have so minute wins in our life. That was not supposed to happen, and it's almost like, man, if you've ever had a drunken conversation with me, or you were a study buddy in college, I was texting you and being like, yo, dude, I love you. This is the best. This is the best day ever. I feel like this is what this is what being free from IRS indictment feels like. Anyway, so to counter that, Tommy, the peak, it's going to be the pit. Where did this get desolate? Did you ever find a moment where you're like, shit, I don't know if I can get this invested anymore if this is going to be the result?
I am not there yet, but
I'm recanting your fandom.
Like altogether? Never. I was always, listen, man, once you're Bills Mafia for life, right? Like NWO, right? You're in it. I was the 17 years. Eventually, you got to just kind of like now when we lose in the playoffs every year to the Chiefs, pretty much. You can't even get mad anymore. You just kind of laugh it off, like, yeah.
Right. I mean, tell these things to the Sabres fans that are in 14 years right now, right?
Right. So you kind of just got to get tough skin, and you just enjoy the players, and you enjoy the moment with your kind of getting a laugh out of it. We were terrible. I mean, there's no other way around it, right? But you still watched because you're a diehard Bills fan. That's what I was. So listen, man, there's a lot of teams that kind of go through this, but now we're set. You know what I mean? As long as we got Josh Allen, we're set. So.
Yeah, I think by the time Josh Allen retires or becomes a pro golfer, the Bears should be relevant. I think I called it like about 4 years ago. They're about 2 GMs and 2 first-round quarterback draft picks away from me caring. Anyway, that's the NFC wrap up. So I got to ask you this, and I ask a lot of people this, and it's kind of a corny question, Tommy, because some people with toxic masculinity, and they might feel a certain way. Some people feel like we're above the age of wearing another man's name on our back. But if we get through that rigmarole, who's a past player you'd be proud to show up in the stands wearing, and who's a current Bill that it might be on the Christmas list to wear across your chest as well, jersey wise?
Eric Moulds all day. It's my favorite player, so I have.
That's the second time you mentioned him.
Yeah, so that's an easy. I got a ton of jerseys. I have a JP Lossman jersey. Okay, so and I was
red wave, green wave.
I have a Paul Posluszny jersey. So, what are we doing here?
I mean, I mean, when I did have a University of Miami greatest college quarterback ever.
Ken Dorsey.
I did have a Ken Dorsey. Yeah, I did.
I'm a Hurricane fan, so dude, hey, shout out to you.
Man, yeah. What is that? What is that? The 2002 team? Have you ever looked that up?
Yeah,
best team ever, bro.
I mean, 23 players. You can only field 22. 23 players ended up playing major minutes in the. Isn't that like a Jonathan Vilma? That's like a
Clinton Portis,
Taylor.
Yeah, Sean
Taylor.
Yeah.
Greg Olson.
Yep. I mean, Willis McGahee,
Willis McGahee
was on that team.
Yeah, that's when his leg injury happened. The most gruesome thing ever.
Yeah, and we, Tommy, we were talking to Bud Carpenter, and we were talking, and we're trying to inflect that on Trey White and how he battled through it. A lot of that is mentality, and we know on good information that Trey kind of really struggled his second time around with like getting his confidence back.
Well, no, the first time around.
First time around.
Yeah,
I apologize. It really seems like we got it right, kind of airing that Jordan Poirier was back, not as a vibes guy, but as senior tutelage of kind of locking down what we needed to be if we wanted to go as far as we wanted to go. What is your outlook on the reappearance of Trey White? Because it's been nothing but positivity. He's had incredible things to say about Maxwell Harrison. Without being too specific, Trey's back. Where you at?
Trey's back. Dude, I have no problem with it, man. Cheap signing, who cares? It's a guy that knows the defense. It's a guy that's, was an all-pro. And he's a guy that can lead that room, that corner room. So I don't know if, somebody said on a Friday show, like a chat came and said he's washed. Maybe. I don't know. I have no, I can't answer that until I see the guy in preseason. Right. But of course he's not the old Trey White. We all know that. Come on, let's be real. But he also brings that leadership. He brings that, he's basically almost like a coach. If you think about it, he knows this defense.
Yeah, exactly. And
like
if
the back, the back of his head.
He's going to end up being cornerback 2 or 3. So he's not looked at upon as being the number one corner anymore. He's gonna be able to, kind of ease himself back into everything. And as a Bill, and it looks, just in shorts, he looks back to kind of almost the player he was in those first 4 games before he got injured to Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Like I said, look, man, even Dane Jackson wasn't a bad signing. I mean, I really like the corner room right now. Like I'm cool with the corner room. We got younger and we got some vets in there as well. I don't know if Dane makes a team, but we'll see. But I don't mind Trey at all. I feel bad for the guy having those 2 injuries back to back, and that's brutal. But I don't hate the signing at all. I really don't. And it's a cheap signing. It wasn't like we, paid this dude a lot of money to come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up one that I was calling for since December of last year.
You're so great. Hang on one second.
Yeah, I don't even care. But no, in all honesty, Elijah Moore. I
felt that was performative. Sorry.
I felt that like he was somebody that they should be looking at free agency when we did our early free agency outlook before like everything went through, like right around the end of February. The beginning of February. So, and it's sounding more and more like he's going to have a spot on this team, and he's getting the reps with Josh, and he's seeming to be looking like the Elijah Moore that came out of college. How do you feel about that signing?
I love that signing, actually. The only thing I hate about it, I'll be honest with you, is 1 year. And that's what kind of sucks about these 1 year deals. If they have a good season, they're gone. This guy's going to try to have a good season. Obviously, he's going to have a good season, and he's going to get a contract somewhere else, more than likely. If Buffalo's smart, I'll be honest with you, if Bean is smart, depending how the season's going with Moore, try to extend him somewhere during the season. Keep this guy in Buffalo. I feel like this guy just hasn't had a good quarterback, And
I mean, he played with Joe Flacco and Mike White and an old Joe Flacco coming off his mother's couch, not the one that beat you.
He smoked me in college. He smoked me.
I mean, like Mike White, Zach Wilson, and we're sitting here and saying like he's not.
All right, well, talk to me, Westside. We've had this debate before, and tell me if anything's changed. Gabe Davis is looking for a team.
No,
that's not what I asked. Yes or no? No. He's a veteran presence. He has the tethered synergy with Josh. We love our wide receiver room. Everything goes perfect in a vacuum. Does he make this roster?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think he does. I don't think they should even sign him. Like, honestly, unless he's, there during the season and you can put him on the practice squad, maybe in case of an injury. Tommy, what do you think?
No, I think our wide receiver room right now is good. The way it ended here.
Well, what are we going to do without
Yeah.
Coach Chad? What are we going to do? That was the most ridiculous fucking shit ever.
Right.
He's coaching quarterback.
The way it ended with Gabe and Diggs, they could not adjust to Brady's offense. Mm-hmm. They hated it, right? And then the whole thing with Gabe and Josh Allen all of a sudden losing chemistry like overnight was odd to me. And the Gabe was getting frustrated it was really odd that last season with Gabe. So he got paid. He went out and got paid with Jacksonville. So but no, I don't think he's coming back. And I don't think Bean is going to call him anytime soon.
I think calls are always going to be made, but I think having the pulse of the collective, kind of figuring out, what other teams are at and kind of figuring out what's going to cost them. Cause that's the name of the game, creative finance. It's probably the reason.
You know what that would be if he came back, that would be a Josh Allen decision almost. That would be, hey,
like
Bean,
FOJ, friends of Josh.
Right. Hey, Bean, give Gabe a call. Right. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't surprise me. But outside of that, I don't see why we would need Gabe Davis back. Like we have a good wide receiver room right now. So
it seems like we're all kind of in agreement there. Tommy, in your life as a podcaster, when did your neck most get come for one of your opinions that you found yourself diametrically opposed versus the Bills Mafia? Just a take that you truly believe in, whether right or wrong, that people were at odds with. Mine was let's give Rex one more year.
or Josh Rosen.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to dunk on me. But yeah, those are my two. Whether right or wrong, when did you find yourself at odds for a take that you truly believed in? That there was some general disagreement within a very passionate fan base.
It's been the McDermott thing for a couple seasons. You got to
impart on that.
So yeah, listen, I'm probably there's other channels I'm sure besides mine that go on McDermott that we don't feel like he should be the coach right now. But look, man, I give him credit for what he's done, what he did, the turnaround to get this team where it's at today. But we're going in year 9 and we're still talking about the defense, and he's a defensive minded head coach. That's a problem. It's been a problem. So
I don't know.
You don't know. We're still worried about the defense. You're not
because I
never be. If he was let me ask you, if he was an offensive minded head coach, if it was the opposite way, and we were a terrible offense in the playoffs, not the regular season. We're fine. Defense does its thing. Playoffs, we really go downhill, and he clamps up. So let's say it was the other way around. The offense was just terrible.
I'd go to the offensive coordinator.
Okay, but guess what? We've changed offensive coordinators. We've changed
defensive coordinators. we went from Bobby Babbage Sr. to Leslie Frazier. And stuff like that. And there's still.
But whose scheme is it?
I want to believe, Tommy. I want to believe, and I got to be honest with you. I don't know if it's correct. I want to believe that Sean McDermott, much like Josh, much like Bean, are a three-headed monster for the overall performance of the team. You don't see Sean McDermott undermining Bobby Babbage in tense situations. You don't see Sean McDermott, pulling rank for Joe Brady. I want to believe that the young coaches that are in charge of those player-specific subsets are there for a reason, and that's the reason they get looks at head coaching jobs. And that's the reason there is development. I mean, the NFL is a copycat league. I want to believe that our best team is Sean McDermott running the team and not taking blame because he comes from a defensive background. I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. That's what I want to believe,
listen, at the end of the day,
I know that's very
care.
fairy tale, but I'm not, where you at
I
with
don't
that?
care if he has a special. I don't care if he's a special teams background. Like that don't matter really too much to me.
Okay.
My point is this: just like players, when we talk about players and we go, "Hey, so and so has reached his ceiling," coaches have the same thing, right? Coaches have a ceiling too, and I feel like McDermott, he's a good coach, but I feel like he's reached his ceiling with his team.
I mean,
we've gone to the
Reed was
AFC
fired.
Championship twice. We cannot. He can't figure a way to beat the Chiefs no matter what he does. It's the same end results. The 13 seconds was outrageous. It was terrible. That right there was on the coaching, big time. The kickoff at the end of the game, with the 13 seconds, they didn't know if they were going to kick it out of bounds or pooch it. It was all confusion. Yeah. It was confusion. You got to know as a coach, you got to get with your special teams coach. So I just feel like clock management's been an issue. Defense has been an issue. Yeah. So it's just a lot of things. So my question to you is this, I asked this to all of Bills Mafia who want Sean McDermott here, who say, no, he's the guy. Okay. How many more seasons? Now we're going to year 9. Will you eventually go as a McDermott person? You're vouching for him. How many more seasons is it going to take for you to go? You know what? Maybe we do need a new voice in the room.
Yeah,
because we're going on year 9.
I completely understand that, but I mean, I also look back to the 90s when they they couldn't get over the hump in the Super Bowl, and with Marv Levy. I mean, he got 10 years, 11 years.
But at the same time, Bill Polian was at the chopping block.
Right.
So, okay. If I
yeah, go ahead.
You ever see Marty Schottenheimer's record with a coaching record? You ever see it with the Chiefs? If you go back and look at his just with the Chiefs alone, you would go, holy shit, this guy 12 wins, 13 wins, or 10 wins. This guy was a winning head coach. But guess what? He got in the playoffs and he couldn't get the job done. You eventually have to go, you know what? We got to get a new voice in the room. And what is the big worry anyways? If let's say hypothetically the Pagulas go, you know what? McDermott just can't. Let's say we don't get a Super Bowl this year and they eventually go, you know what? We got to make a change, which by the way, won't happen. So I'm going to tell you right now, Pagulas is thinking of McDermott. But let's say they do, hypothetically. You really think the next coach is coming here can't get this team to playoffs?
Well, I think that's predicated on who's the next coach.
But how bad? You think they're going to go and just find Joe Schmo down the street? They're going to. You don't trust in Brandon Beane and Pagulas to get a coach to get this team at least to the playoffs. Let's say hypothetically they find a coach. I'm just going to throw this out there.
But that's largely the crux of the argument is
who is the coach?
Who is that coach?
Okay, but who? But let's say it's anyone. Hypothetically,
but you can't
say. Well, okay. I don't, but that's the thing. I don't know who's a free agent coach.
Right.
So we can sit here right now and go, well, who? I don't know because we don't know what coaches are available.
That's the inherent delta
so we
risk,
can't really, I hate that. I get where you're going, but I hate that at the same time because when they're like, oh, well, who are you going to hire? Well, I don't know because we're not to that point yet. Right. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like coaches, when they get fired, normally coaches get fired toward the tail end of a season, mid-season, tail end of the season. So the owners are okay, and the GM going, okay, here's going to be the coaches available, right? Now we're going to start talking to some guys that are going to the playoffs, coordinators, defensive coordinators, right? You can't say it now. I can't answer that now. I have no idea. Right. But my thing is this, though. Even if you get a coach, you go to the playoffs 2-3 years, and let's say this guy is the same results, though. Same results. Out of the playoffs, AFC Championship game or divisional game, what's the difference? Tell me.
No,
at the end of the day, what's the difference?
I get where you're coming from. It's tough because
I hate that I like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to it for me personally is it's got to end at some time, right? I mean, we talked about the drought years. We figured that would end at some time. And the Bills would be in the playoffs and they would get over that hump. But with this, it just seems like every year they run into Kansas City. And if it's not for Kansas City, the Bills are probably 2, 2-time Super Bowl champions.
It's hard to win in the NFL, man.
I mean,
I don't know. The Bengals beat us fair and square in Buffalo.
Oh, they did. But I mean,
in our environment with a shitty offensive line that they picked up off the street, and we played terrible. And by the way, that was.
Can I tell you something about that? Yeah. Can I tell you something about that though?
Yeah.
And I heard this from Coach McNally. They were licking their chops the second they found out Daquan Jones was open because they had put together 2 game plans. One if it snowed, and if and with Daquan out, and one if it didn't snow with him in. Obviously, they went with the one that worked and went there, and they said the Bills refused to change what they were doing.
I don't.
So once again, doesn't that fall on coaching?
And it does, and that coach is not here anymore.
Yes,
there's no such thing as halftime adjustments.
Listen, there was I'll say this: there's games where I'll admit it's a total team loss. I felt like 2020 against the Chiefs, total team loss. I'm not going to blame it on the defense. Against the Bengals, total team loss. Outside of that, though, I got to be honest with you, it's been the defense. The defense has let us down more than the offense. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
even last season,
I agree with that. I do agree with that until last year. Last year, the offense let us down.
You think so?
I do, because you don't run. Let's be honest with you. I mean, there's multiple reasons why that the Bills lost. I'm not one to blame the refs. I mean, we kind of coined the ref report here at Two Champions. I mean, we did. And that's something Eric Wood uses on GR on his color commentary and stuff like that also. But I mean, it comes down to it is they score on that drive where they picked up the first down and the third down, and they misspotted the ball and didn't change it. And then on top of that, they didn't give Josh the first down on there. They score on that drive. They're up by
okay.
10. What are we doing? Up by 10.
So that whole sequence, by the way, was fucked from the beginning, or fucked from the whole thing, because one, Joe Brady was being way too predictable on that Josh Allen quarterback sneak or whatever. They knew we were going to the same side every time. Even Tony, what's his name? The commentator.
Tony Romo.
Was saying, why don't the Bills go do a hard snap count, draw them off sides, because they're jumping, right? They're jumping on us. So that was one. Two, Dawson Knox actually got a first down prior to that Josh Allen. If they didn't rush to the line.
Right. Well, that was Dalton Kincaid. That was Dalton Kincaid. And that's what I was talking about. Is they misspotted the ball because he's a half a yard short, and there's no reason for that. But again, that's why I felt like it fell on the offense last year, because they became too predictable. They kept running, instead of doing hard counts, or going to the opposite side, or anything, running the ball in those situations, rather than, you got James Cook back there,
I still disagree. I think the defense still had the opposite.
I think if you get the ball, multiple drives, multiple opportunities, and it's a binary thing where you're told to get 1 yard, 1.5 yards, and you don't get it, regardless of existential circumstance, you don't deserve to be there. At some point, it's not for you, for whatever it is. It could be all of these externalities. But if you're tasked with how bad do you want it, and I know they want it so bad, but at some point, at the point of collision, if you can't advance the ball so many times, just 1 yard, you're not a Super Bowl team.
Listen, I'm with that. I understand that, but I'm going to also say this. Entering the playoffs, and people know this, and I said it going into the playoffs, really weeks before the playoffs. I said, look, the only way this Bills team gets to Super Bowl, the offense is going to have to play perfect football, because the defense is not going to be able to hold up during the playoffs. I knew it. And guess what, fellas? The offense wasn't perfect against the Chiefs, but the defense still had the opportunity at the end of the game to get a stop. And what did they do? They didn't get the stop. They had an opportunity. They did. And they didn't get the stop. So they also gave up opening touchdowns to every team. Denver, Baltimore, Kansas City. the defense wasn't good. If it wasn't for the takeaways during the regular season, the defense really was not good during the regular season either. But listen, that's last year. I think that they understand that now, that they understand that they had to go younger, fix that line, which is really was atrocious. Really, Daquan Jones is a shell of himself, and I think they understand this now. But once again, my point is, look, man, last year the offense had to be perfect, and it wasn't and against the Chiefs. And that's I still feel the only way that they get past the Chiefs is going to have to be one of those games where Josh Allen and this offense puts up like a 40 burger, and it's going to be close, and we win the game. But it has to remain perfect. That, like, as of now, when we get started in this regular season, maybe I'll change my mind to see how this younger defense looks. But right now, I still feel that way.
That's one of the things that there's a game on our schedule against Cincinnati this year. How do you feel that game's going to go? Because I truly think it's going to be a type of situation where it's going to be like the Detroit game last year, where it's like 46-40 or something like that, and it's going to take one stop from the defense to, because their defense I don't think their defense can stay with the Bills, and I don't think that the Bills defense can stay with their offense.
Yeah, I'm with you. And what sucks is we're getting them late. So the Bengals are notorious slow starters, right? Like, I wish the NFL hooked us up right early, week 3 or something. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be a shootout. That game's going to be a shootout game, and the Bengals have always played as tough, always. So yeah, it's going to be a shootout. I don't see our defense. It's going to be like the Rams game of last season. Yeah, it's going to be, or even the Lions game. It's going to be one of those kind of games where it's just back and forth. And I'll tell you the difference between the Rams and the Lions. We actually, the defense actually got early stops, which got us that cushion. And then the defense kind of fell apart. Let's be real on that Lions game. Right. But once we had the cushion, it was good. The Rams,
almost like we're playing too soft in the Lions game at the end there. And we got like a 20-point lead. We're going to play soft now. We're going to play prevent defense. And what does prevent defense do?
That's a classic McDermott move, though.
Absolutely.
He takes his foot pedal. He takes his foot off the pedal a lot, and that you can't do that, especially against teams like that.
I do not wish on this on the Lions fan base, but I'm not sure the Lions fan base is ready when the darling turns. They had the Hard Knocks. They were a great story with the former player, Dan Campbell, the hard nose, everything like that. When did you guys become cognizant that when we talk about these losses to the Chiefs over and over again, that kind of the mood and the vibe changes, that, some people are just sick of the Bills and just hate to hate. Have you felt that tide turn for justified reasons, or just super saturation that, why are they here? They can't get it done.
That other fan bases are thinking about that against the Bills?
No, I'm saying, have you felt the tide turn, that like everybody's rooting for the underdog and stuff like that? And then super saturation. People are kind of like, I don't want to say same old Bills, but they'll find a reason to, to unseat us as the bell of the ball.
They're
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're the Bills. Josh Allen's going to lose a big one. Here we go.
Absolutely. Yeah. That narrative.
When do you think that? When do you think that turned? The second time the Chiefs
yeah, I would say not even this past season. I feel there was
when Jerry Coleman decided to.
Some people, yeah. I feel like that. Listen, that narrative's not going to be broken until we get to a Super Bowl. Period. Like, we just can't. And it's true. Like, I can't listen when Chiefs fans come on my show in the chat, or they pop up in the chat, they talk shit. I really, as long as we're respectful, I don't kick them off. But for the most part, I'm like, what do you want me to say? Like, yes.
You feel like you're Muhammad Ali on the ropes, being like, oh, hey,
right.
Hey,
I don't even know what to say. Yeah, like, okay, you're good. You beat us. Like, I can't say nothing. So,
we did one last year. We did a show last year, the night before the Chiefs game in the playoffs, and we had probably 15 Chiefs fans, 30 different Chiefs fans in there, just commenting away, oh, they're going to lose. It's going to be the Bills again. The Bills.
Windows closed.
Yep, windows closed,
right.
Everything. And it's just like, let's play the game. It's going to be what's on the field. Let's see what happens.
I've been watching since '89, and I remember in '93, I think it was when we were going the third time to the Super Bowl against Dallas. I remember fans outside of Buffalo fans, they hated us because they're like, "Oh, Bill's going back to Super Bowl." Yep. So I mean, it goes both ways. I'm sure the Patriots, we all hated, oh fuck Patriots. So I hear it goes kind of both ways, right? So they're sick of seeing us, but the problem is this: that's why I said this earlier. Surprise, surprise, we're going to win the East again. We're going to make the playoffs again. We're probably going to be back in the divisional or AFC championship game. We're a good team. We got the best
Tyreek Hill.
We're one of
the best. Get arrested in the offseason.
right, exactly. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Right?
I mean, my favorite thing from the 90s, the Super Bowl years was piss them off and piss them. What is it? Piss them off and go for 4.
Yeah, dude. I didn't care, dude. I did not care. I
think Steve Tasker says it best. And Matt, we know you were at the comeback game. He's got the ticket. I'm just gonna abbreviate, a long-winded story. I'm just kidding. That's the name of the game on my thing. I think Steve Tasker says it best in the Four Falls of Buffalo. He's just like 300,000 people were at that game. He's met them all. I just, I just want a reason to believe, and it's almost like an embarrassment of riches where I see the team on paper. I see a community backing them. We get to meet, more than the average bear of these players and to see how bad they want it. The one thing that is always going to invigorate me is when a guy like Dion gets on the mic, a guy like Josh gets on the mic, a guy like Matt gets on the mic. And they're telling me that, they're playing Settlers Catan at camp. They're playing Madden together. They're playing cards together. To have that vibe in the locker room where they want to be around each other, they want to eat together as a team. Do you think it's a good thing that Hard Knocks is here because it's a copycat league, or do you think that puts a little too much undue spotlight on traditionally a small market team that is so tethered to the culture everybody eats and what we're here when no star shines too bright?
Nah, man. Look, one thing I'll say about the Hard Knocks too. I've been saying this also for the last 2 seasons that the NFL is all about that money, baby. So in time, they were going to force or make every team do a Hard Knocks. No matter if you're a shit team or a Super Bowl team, you're going to eventually have to do Hard Knocks, just like the international games. It's all about money. I knew this day was coming. I knew it was.
I knew this comment was coming. Yeah, Bills are overrated.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Hey, your Bills are overrated and you're out.
So, listen, no, I don't think it'll like hamper or bother the team in any way. I think it's pretty cool, actually. It's cool for Bills Mafia. It's also cool for podcasters because that's extra stuff we get to talk about. But I think the players are going to like it. Deion Dawkins, Josh Allen, they're going to welcome it. Sean McDermott, probably not so much, but listen, man, I think the players are going to have fun with it. I don't think it hurts this team at all, so for me, I would just say Bills Mafia, enjoy it, enjoy that because you're going to see a lot of stuff you don't get to see. Go ahead.
As a podcaster, knowing that you do have to produce unique content from a unique vantage point, what are your game day rituals? Do you prefer to be, I know you're in Detroit. How do you watch the game? Whether it be a good luck thing, whether it be you really like to study up on teams, and then how much time do you allow yourself to process and kind of digest what you saw on film before you want to put something on record that a lot of people with a successful podcast are going to consume?
Yeah, so game days, I do a pregame an hour and a half before the game starts, and then I do a postgame instantly. So everything we do on my podcast is right away, instant reaction. And I will say this about instant reaction. Sometimes we're in the moment. So you're a little bit, if we lose, you're saying stuff.
That's pretty much the premise of how Aaron Hernandez ended up in jail. Just firing from the hip.
Right. So, but we do a Monday show. Like we do a show after where we go, okay, hey, we were a little bit wrong here. We saw the film and we were a little heated. So, but you know what? I like it. It's fun. It is what it is. But as far as me watching, I enjoyed it in my living room and on my 86-inch TV. You know, kick back, relax, watch with my dog, and that's about it, man. But
I think we
people
saw the dog on the podcast the other day. By the way, I was like,
she's actually right here. Yeah, she's laying down. I know you can see her right there. But look,
by the way,
man,
for everybody listening right now, surprise, surprise, Aaron Williams is late. As I showed up on Saturday, like legitimately 45 minutes late for a tea time, like the one place like you cannot be late to. It's like it's like custody court and your tea time. Tommy, I did want to ask you this: who's one player you really rooted for that just didn't pan out, man? And why was it Nathan Peterman?
Yeah, right, dude. I was the most angriest when Peterman started against the Chargers, I believe it was.
No, but in all seriousness, who did you really believe in? Who did you want the best with? And it just either wasn't a fair shake, whether it was injury or just it didn't come to the heights of fruition of which you had hoped it would land at.
God, I hate saying it. JP Lossman.
No, why? No. Because
I do. I think
you're getting a lot of EJ Manuel comments, so we'll touch on that later. But tell me about JP.
I think JP, I'll be honest with you. I think JP, his problem was he was a little bit too cocky coming out of college. He didn't check his ego, but he had the tools. Like he had a big arm. He was mobile. Like he had that connection with Lee Evans. He was a gunslinger in a way. Like Trent Edwards came and he was terrible. Cap check down. I hated Trent Edwards, but Lossman just never. The thing, like I said, man, I think his cockiness kind of he came in the league. He also got hurt right away. I think he broke his arm or leg or something right away.
That it's Troy Vincent hit him in practice.
Yes, Troy Vincent in practice.
Like I said, check ego in practice.
Yes. So I mean, look, man, I think if Lossman was now on this team, as this is like, let's say we drafted him, you know, just as a 5th round player or something. I think you could build Lossman in today's NFL. Like I think he would work in today's NFL. I do.
Oh no.
Don't let me get my Lossman.
We got it.
The bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your hands.
We have the dog. Hey Matt, why don't you bring him out real quick? We're gonna cheers up a couple dub chubs for A-Dub. Come on with it. What is up, Mr. AJ Williams? How you doing, my man? We welcome you to the Third Manageable Podcast. We got Tommy from the Buffalo
Mafia Sports Report.
So Mafia Sports Report. Aaron, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I just got off the green and yeah.
Dude, the green is where you live. You live by the dance floor of the green and the burnt orange of Texas, man.
Look, E Wood has more hole-in-ones than me. I have no choice but to be.
We're not talking. And we're not close, Aaron. We're not even close.
I was close today, though.
Bet you were. Aaron. Of all the athletes and stuff like that, how great is like the game of golf, where it's kind of just it kind of to some degree gets you to get in the mindset of it's you versus you out there. And is it a cathartic experience? Is it a frustrating experience? And why'd you kind of tether yourself to the game? Because I know you play a ton of it.
I think he's frozen.
No, he's doing it on purpose. Don't just wait.
That's the exact look he gave to me when I showed up late.
That was a bad question. He's giving you that look like, dude. No. Oh, dude.
There's Dub. There's Day Will.
I'm in the boonies, man. My bad.
There he is.
So, yo, Aaron, I'm gonna fast forward to a segment real quick that you're gonna hate, bro. But I'm hoping you can do it real quick. We're gonna talk about the bocce tournament in a little bit, but you told me a story this past weekend, and if you could do the viewers, because I thought I had such a good joke on you, and everything like that. And I think you know where we're gonna bring up who that is your rookie card, Aaron. That is your rookie card, right? Yeah,
Yep.
and this is
After I hit, I cut you off like Picasso, Air, Van Gogh, or whoever. Goddamn, Cole, you're too clever like a.
what is the backstory on why your rookie card is not a picture of you?
Yeah, man, it's really weird because when that came out, I haven't even been drafted yet, so they could have went back and made the corrections. Long story short, is during the pre-draft combine workouts, whatever, and I think like the third week while we were there, some guys get the opportunity to sign card deals. I was one of them. So when they brought my card, it was like 5 of us: AJ Green, JJ Watt, Randall Cobb, Julio Jones, and somebody else.
Light company.
Yeah. And I remember all of them. We were all around each other, and they're grabbing our cards because I think we're on the same agency. So we grabbed our cards, and then I look at mine, and it's Dan Buckner. That's my college teammate. Now we wore the same numbers in college, but we're two different positions. So I don't know how they would even
people
confuse me with. And he wasn't even part of the draft in general. So for the NFL or whoever, not the NFL, but whoever card company got that wrong, I mean, it's pretty bad. And they just left it in there. So yeah,
We'll do it
man, mad
live, man.
disrespectful, but it is what it is.
Mad disrespectful. Yo, I'll bring this up. Mad disrespectful for you to pull this move right here. That's Aaron Williams dancing on somebody's grave at my bocce tournament. Does come up June 22nd. Aaron, you and I have been doing this for a ton. An organization that we're very passionate about, the Iliad Apollo Scholarship Fund, as well as Harrison's Playmakers. You come back here a lot. You show up and you show out for everyone. What makes this community so special and worth being selfless for? And when you come back and you see that you're not forgotten, that you're just like, oh my God, that's A Will. What did this community mean to be dropped in and coming from Texas? And what are you left with that you just keep coming back and keep doing good philanthropically for others?
Well, honestly, man, I'm gonna always give Buffalo for like love because for those who have read my Player Tribune letter to Buffalo.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was a start. I appreciate that. It was the start of me getting drafted here. Was the first year and a half of it was actually horrendous and very chaotic for me. Totally different culture, totally different environment. My first time really being outside of Texas, and first year was playing okay. Second year was god awful. So it was just like,
Because if you don't got confidence,
yeah, once you don't got no confidence, it's a wrap. But the weird thing about it was the fans never like turned not even the fans, just the city of Buffalo never turned their back on me. They always said, no, they knew that there was more to me than what they've been seeing or been given. And for me to lock in my third year and to really just put my ego aside, honestly, like I'm a kid that coming from a Texas program that's football country.
there it is down south.
Been elite since college, so it was like weird for me to be on the opposite end of being low and being down. But the city came behind me and really riled me up and like never gave up on me. So I always get love. And then the city, man, people are just hardworking, man. Like people always ask me like, what's one of your favorite places to be or to visit? And I always say Buffalo, and people always give me a weird look. And I understand why, because obviously Buffalo's not your flashy, not your most luxury spot. You're not gonna get the limelight. You're not gonna get like the hoorah like you do in Miami, LA.
You don't
and
get
all
the New
those.
York City skyline or the oceans.
Yeah, you don't
of
get
LA,
none of that. But at the end of the day, if you come with the right people or just anybody, like when you come to games, you could be the opposite. You could be a whole Dolphins fan, but we welcome you open arms to the tailgate. We want you to like be a part of the city, won't be a part of the community. And it's just, bro, it's outside of like in between the white lines of the game, like fans are so welcoming, and the people of Buffalo are welcoming like no other. I've been to a lot of other cities, and people are just not as welcoming as Buffalo is, and it really just puts a different it put a different mindset and perspective for me, because I'm coming from Texas and everything is just like big, everything is luxurious, everything is just like, it's a wow factor in Texas. So to come here and to see like the little things are a wow factor, but like just the openness and welcoming and the love that they gave me, and to future players as well. Like y'all are like, everyone's so welcoming to the new guys that get drafted here, and we want them to feel like this is home, regardless if they're from Florida, Iowa, California. It doesn't matter. When you come here, we want this to be your second home, because we know after the fact that when you do leave, regardless, you're still going to be a Bills for life. So it's always a
Aaron,
shout out to the city of Buffalo.
real quickly, you're talking about being welcomed. You were welcomed very early in your college career into the Red River rivalry. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my freshman year,
Oh boy.
I was a backup, and I wasn't really expected to go in. I was not, so I was playing, but I was more special teams. So kickoff, punt return. I knew I was going to be in those plays. So really mentally, I'm like, go see ball, hit ball. You know what I'm saying? Go to the ball and those things.
Life was simpler.
Life was very simple. But when you're actually in the game, when you're actually like first, second, third down, and
Yo, we in this.
you got to be more locked in. And I'm not going to say I wasn't as prepared, but if I'd have known I was going to play, I would have been a little bit more prepared. But so basically, long story
You killed
short,
it.
yeah, our senior DB Ryan Palmer pulled a hamstring literally like 2 minutes before halftime. And
Dude, it's the Red River rivalry.
bro, I'm talking about fresh out of high school,
Dude.
grew up watching this game. Like, even just walking out of the tunnel was amazing, but going into halftime, Dwayne Keenan, my DB coach, who is back at UT now, DB coach God, came into me and was like, "Look, Ryan Palmer's here. You're going in. We have nobody else. You're going in."
Hey, talk to me like your boy. What did you lose feeling in your face? Like, were you just like, yo, what? Like, be real. Were you just like, wow?
No, I mean, my eyes, like, it really didn't dawn on me until I got out there. So like in the locker room, he told me, and I was just like, I was like a oh shit moment, but it wasn't really like, oh, like, I'm ready for this. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, I'm going in, thinking like I play this game all the time, whatever. I'm going in the game. But as soon as we got out of the tunnel, and the kickoff went, and I'm on the sideline getting ready to go in, it really hit me. Like, everything really was like a tunnel. Like, I used to see the fans, I used to hear everything, but right before I got out into those white lines, it was tunnel vision. All I saw was the players in front of me, my job, what my responsibility was. And then you really don't hear like the fans, or you really don't hear the atmosphere until like either off the field or after a good play. So I made one good play on that one series, on a third down series actually. And it was when Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray were there, Ryan Broyles, like Gresham, all those greats. So I made a big play on third down, and it went from
worth it.
It went from silence. It went from like, oh, I like mano a mano, me looking at the guy, to then getting up, realizing what I did, and then just like your peripheral it opens, like your third eye just like opens.
What a great
just happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a great experience.
That's awesome. And real quick, new friend of the show, Tommy from Mafia Sports Report. Just
Tommy, what's good, my guy?
Well, yo, what up, Aaron? Hey, real quick, man. Fuck Jarvis Landry, all right?
Yeah!
Yes. Come
on with it, baby!
So, hey, Will, you mentioned you got your start kind of Texas special teams. If it's cool with you, and we'll let you go. I got 3 celebrations of what you put down on the field when you had those good times. And the first one, if you could walk me through this, if you can watch the screen real quick, this is a special teams play.
It is.
Come on.
It is Aaron Williams on the run at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! 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 Touchdown, Buffalo! A high snap that rolled around forever, and Aaron Williams.
Arsenal, right? You kind of figure, like, you kind of pick the three you kind of like would do, bro. But when it happens,
Yo, dude, I got the Cupid shuffle. That's all I got. So 3 is robust.
yeah, but you got to imagine, like, playing, like, while you're in practice, playing the game. Even in practice, you're practicing your celebration. Even in practice, so
It's envisioning greatness almost.
there are a lot of guys that will practice their celebration to make sure that it's on point. So, anyways, I made that play, not thinking I was going to even score, but I scored. For whatever reason, it just hit me to just do the Cristiano Ronaldo. I was at that time. So it was definitely. I don't think I did it right. First of all, I ran too far. I was so tired.
No one was questioning your effort on that play, dude.
Bro, I was so tired. And so imagine, like, such a team scoring. We hit the field goal. Guess who's on the field again? Defense. So kickoff. I had to have an oxygen mask. I was dying. So I should have went the other way. Instead of going the long way, should have went the short way and then done it. I would have had more energy.
A little bit of an oversight.
Series.
So,
But
yo,
it
number
is
2, well, number two.
Number 2, and wait till it plays first, and then go ahead and
Number
go
2,
ahead, go through it.
this one's tough, Will. This one's tough. Hitting the Fred and Jackson.
I'm so upset they cut that off. Like, they cut the main part off. But so that celebration was a tribute to my dog, my big brother Fred Jackson. We had just cut him a week or 2 weeks before. I think it was a week before, a week or two, and it was a surprise because, like,
no one saw
it's Fred
that
Jackson. You know what I mean? No one's ever thinking.
College.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, college legend, Buffalo legend. But he, the front office made a tough decision to, let him go, and it was just more of a tribute, like, because we all expected him to be there that year. So, and he let me drive his car that day, which is crazy. Yeah. He allowed me to drive the Hulk. So car? For people in Buffalo that don't know, the Hulk is like, for those who went to training camp, if you heard a loud NASCAR pulling up to the parking lot, it was Fred. It was his car. So I had the opportunity to drive up to that game, add a tribute to him. I called him that morning and said, bro, let me drive the car just in honor of you. And he's like, all right, cool, go ahead. So that whole day was just like, now I'm thinking about it, that was crazy how everything played out.
You're going to hate me for this last one, Will. You're going to hate me. I hope we remain friends. Okay. Talk to me about this. This.
I put it in the hoop like slam. I heard the crowd screaming out jam. I swear that I'm telling you the fact.
Do you still love me? I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yo, how did you find that video? You must have been you done some digging to get that video. That's wild. Long story short.
You got anything to say?
Long story short.
Please.
I was talking to a high school.
I'm so sorry, dude.
High school kids or something. I think it was like a football team or a basketball team. I don't know, one of those sports. And it was a bunch of little kids. So it was like middle schooler and high schoolers. And little kids, like, they see a professional guy and they're like, dunk, dunk, dunk. Bro, I ain't warm up. Bro, I got on sweats. No, not even the right shoes. I'm just like, whatever. Mind you, like, bro, I'm not even trying to really dunk. Like, I don't care. Like, so I was just trying to be the good sport and go out there and give it my best. And, I got hung. But guess what? for those that want to clown, there are NBA professionals get hung all the time. So it's really not that
Hey,
bad.
it's better to be a has been than it never was.
There you go.
No, hey, Will, we want to thank you for your time.
Yeah, man.
You've always tethered yourself to the organizations I care about. You've always supported me. You've always supported this community. Anything you want to leave Tommy from the fan base, Matty Diegert, 30 Manageable, myself at the DePaulos, and when we're going to see you next, and kind of what you hope for with this season.
Well, first off, y'all are lucky that I won't be able to be at Bocce this year. Because I am king, I am champion of the Bocce. Ask about me. Secondly, man, this question is so like loaded because obviously I want those guys to just bring it all home to the city because I know how absolutely chaos and insane that's going to be. We've been very close. We still got to be confident in Bean's decisions as far as dealing with the front office, and then as far as McDermott, just stay focused and put the guys in the right place. And hopefully he's smart enough to bring my boy James back because he was a pivotal reason of why we were so successful the past couple years. And just need that defense to just hold up. So rooting for those guys, and it's gonna be a special year. I'm looking for the home opener, Baltimore first season primetime game. So I'm excited.
Hey, even if you're not legend on the field, you'll be the legend of the lot. By the way, real quick, what was it like actually finally tailgating for the first time?
Bro, it was super fun, but I was unprepared because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Bro, it's a lot of drinking before the games.
Yeah,
like,
it is. It is.
And for those that don't know or never experienced, the fans pull up. I kid you not. First of all, there's a line the day before, so the RVs line up to get their spots. But the day of the game, that first morning, that is a fat roach that just passed me. What the fuck?
Shout out Jarvis Landry.
Shit. God damn, that's a fat mug. Anyways, my bad.
Weren't you just complaining to me about mosquitoes a couple days ago?
Bro, you know how big y'all mosquitoes? Them things was like horseflies.
Yeah, it's kind of like my friendship with you. I'm just sucking at your neck all the time. Come on the podcast.
Chill. Whoa.
Paul, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna put myself in timeout. I'm gonna take a 30-second TV.
No, but the tailgates are amazing. I wasn't expecting that much drinking before a game. I figured you guys were just a little bit because I'm sure you guys are gonna drink during the game and after. But no, you guys are like 6 a.m.
Yep.
Start drinking and eating, by the way. Great meals.
And it's 6 p.m. It's always going to be the ringside lounge.
It's nonstop, bro. So shout out to y'all's livers, because no way.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, you have anything that you're champing at the bit for to ask A. Will, because he is an open book.
Hey, just real quick question for you, Aaron. So Trey came back this season. He's coming back this season. When you were a rookie, did you have any veteran like a Trey White that you can go and talk to?
You know what's really weird? I didn't like Trey White. Yeah, I guess Trey's a vet. He's a vet in the game now. But my vets were like guys who were like 10 plus years in the league. So I had George Wilson, I had Brian Scott, and I had Terrence McGee. So
hey, Aaron, funny. I met George Wilson in Detroit at a bachelor party. Before he was a Bill, he was a receiver for Detroit and on his way to Buffalo. And that's when they converted him to safety. Cool dude, bro. Love George.
Amazing guy.
We talked for like the whole night, bro. We talked the whole night.
I'm glad you had a good experience.
I won't tell you what happened at the bachelor party.
No, we don't need. We don't incriminate. It's all good.
But George was the man.
Bank,
we don't use government names.
Yeah, we keep that in the memory bank.
Yeah, he was a good dude.
No, hey, Will, before you get out of here, I need one thing, right?
What's good, man?
Come on with it. Just one call. Give it to all. Just give me all.
Hey, you love this. You love the come on with it, don't you?
I love you.
That sounds crazy, bro.
Right?
We gotta stop doing that. But I don't want to yell too loud.
No, do it right. Do it right. Come on.
Look, I love you. I'll give you one, but right now I'm gonna give you a soft one because we've already been a little rowdy here. So And come on with it.
I love it.
Aaron, it's good to be seen.
Good to be seen, Aaron.
Always good to be seen, man.
Yeah, I
Good
love you,
talking,
buddy.
Aaron.
Thank
Love
you
y'all
so much,
boys.
buddy.
Y'all boys be
Thank
easy.
you. We'll see you next time.
Be good, man.
All right, man.
Why he tolerates my bullshit?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Tommy, you've been nothing but added value to this. Where can they catch you when you hop on this podcast? Hopefully taking a nap for how exhaustive my behavior is.
So yeah, just you can catch me on
By the way,
Yeah,
that was a left field. Like, by the way, I was I was getting in the cups with one of your mentors at a bachelor party. Jeez.
Yo, and when he said George Wilson, I'm like, whoa, I gotta talk about this.
That's awesome.
That was pretty
Tom,
cool, man.
where can they catch you? You have anything you want to promote? And man, it's been nothing but added value. It's been nothing but insight and unique perspective. And I love tethering two networks together and focusing that synergy and goodwill, and passion, philanthropy. Cornerstones of Do Champions are also cornerstones for your network, your show, and you as a person. What do you got for us, man?
First, I want to thank you, Matt Student, for having me on tonight. It was fun, man. Had a great time with you guys, man, and hope to do it again. And you guys are always welcome to come on Mafia Sports Report or Friday Night Lights as well. But you can catch us on Mafia Sports Report on YouTube, on X, Tommy Talks Bills, and we go live every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. And then I also shoot some videos out. We also do pregame and postgame live instant reactions.
Man, Matt, nothing but illustrious guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Matt,
Tommy, it's been a pleasure. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate it, Student, man. Thank you, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Yo,
It's good to be seen.
it's good to be seen.
Tommy's good to be seen, buddy.
Yeah, you guys too, man.
Thanks again.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.